Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Tower of Doom stream. So of course today we are going to be continuing on Tower of Doom. We don't have too many battles for it right now because we did end up depleting out almost all of yesterday's battles, actually literally all of yesterday's battles by the time we got around to the other little video thing. But yeah, we have the rest of them to do today. We'll still probably have a few more days to go as far as in order to get it to full completion. But yeah, we should be able to have that done soon. I definitely want to do it at least to 25's completion, as we are going to need it for all the scrolls. And by tomorrow, we should have all the rewards. Actually, speaking of that, let me go grab all this mess right now. There should be a triple small, or no, quad small. And then we get the major one on tomorrow then. And see what we get so far. Ooh, 2 blues. Definitely very, very nice. Can we get a third? Come on, 3 blues. You know you want to. I've only ever gotten 3 blues all on the same screen once, and it was during the beta of all things. So, not even on my main account, so I didn't even get to keep them. But I've only ever seen it once, and it happened on the beta, just randomly. But unfortunately, it happening on the beta has no effect on anything, because the stuff on that doesn't get saved. Anyways, hello everyone. Hello William. Hello Xmoss. Hello Corn. Hello DeCreo. Hello Steve. Hello Matt. Hello Jason. Hello Isabel. Hello Miles. Hello James. Hello Isabel. Oh no, I just said hi to Isabel. And hello Gustavo. Welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Wait, we're already in the right spot. Let's go and do Tower of Doom. So let's figure out what we need. We are on floor 19. Already did 1 room, and what else do we still have on this floor? That was it. Just do number 4, and then we can move on to the next one and go from there. Still using the same thing. Probably using this all the way through at this point. Should be perfectly fine to do so. Okay, what do we need here? Let's go grab ourselves a... Do we actually have this on first turn? No. Do I still go for it, though? Probably. It's tempting. He's not going to really be able to do much against it. And it does extra turns, so that's really lucky then. It almost seems like we do this on red with how many reds are on the board. Gosh, 17. That's almost guaranteed not going to miss. And it obviously doesn't miss. And the only problem is there's like 0 browns on this board. So let's move that for now. Get all that rolling so we can go into other skull spam. Throw that down. Looks like we probably have Divine Ishbala. Divine Ishbala we can then do into this weapon. Then we could probably do a Quillen and then get the full combo running full circle. Nope, we can just throw the weapon again, and he's pretty much already dead. Then we just have to throw 2 skulls at him. We can just do it like that, and he's dead, and it's still our turn. That battle worked out really smoothly. Let's hope they all go that way. And there's of course our unlock, since we already know what every single room is going to be beforehand as far as what their drop is going to be. Assuming that you already have it scouted, of course. Otherwise, you have no clue what each room will be. Which is the whole point of scouting, since it's going to be the same for your entire guild for the entire week. So it's different for every single guild, but every single guild, it's going to be same for all 30 people. Okay, looks like we get the full combo. Quillen into Divine Ishbala into the weapon. That's risky. I might go for it, though we lose our hero if it misses. So I'm probably gonna hold off. I'm gonna do it on purple, oddly enough. I want to do it on yellow, given that he has Valraven there. Though he's using pure yellow, so I guess it wouldn't be as bad, but still. I'll go for that. Oh, that's funny. He doesn't have immune to mana drain, does he? He does not. We actually do have a 2 mana drain onto him, because this yellow weapon maxed out does have a 2 mana drain attached to it, which isn't huge, but hey, helps out for a battle like this, that's for sure. We get to start off with almost all of our mana. Don't you gain 3 mana per yellow on the opposing team? Yes, so that means we gain 12 mana, wow. Every single time, that's not too bad. Okay, Divine Ishbala, do your thing. Now we can hopefully get that right into the weapon. All that damage now goes into Valraven, so it shouldn't be able to escape now. Still not dead all the way though, but it's almost there. Just don't have a convert option for it, doesn't look like. So let's take that. He's somehow still not dead. Let's see. What's our best alignment option? That doesn't look like any of them. Almost feel like just using this on green just to make sure it doesn't backfire whatever we do. So we'll do that. That would ideally give us Diviner Spala, which it does, off the green convert, which makes sense. That's what we're aiming for. Quillen, do you have a thing? I don't think we can do anything with Quillen. I think we almost might just be better off taking that for now, yeah. Go for that, throw the Doom Weapon, and go from there. Maybe we'll get a triple combo now. Do we have the board set up for it? No. Now do we have the board set up for it? Still a negative. I guess we'll just go Divine Spala again. Can we at least get that into the weapon? No. At least not consistently. We could try, but it's random chance where the 5 Dooms will go. And they can overwrite already existing skulls. They just can't overwrite Doom skulls. Oh good. We do have the full combo then right now, so we'll do that, and hopefully have the follow-up. No follow-up. But shouldn't really matter much. Several pokes will take him out. And 2 more good skull spams will also take him out. Just need them as actual options and we can get them. Does that work? No. Too many things to check every single turn, gosh. It's the only bad thing with using multiple converts. What do we take here? What do we take? None of it looks worth it. I'm actually gonna just do this on yellow, I guess, even if we feed him yellow on accident. Which luckily we don't. Okay, and I'll throw that in there. That should hopefully set up the board for something. Yeah, that should be good enough, and then we could hopefully just triple it. So we'll do that. Diviner Spala. If that doesn't somehow kill, then we have the blade. There we go. Takes a little while sometimes, but it gets your job done. A little bit slower when it doesn't get that perfect alignment. What we have here is a 2 and nothing else, so we'll go take that. It's just a 2, or Archie already hovering over it. Oh, so hello, Birdleaf, welcome. And hello, everyone else who I might not have said hello to. Welcome, all the lurking people in the shadows. I'll take that one over. Grab a... Do we have that? No. Yeah, we don't have any of those. Oh, we could actually take that into brown convert, though. And then hopefully get all 3. So we'll get that, and then get the Doom Blade, hopefully. Nope. It's not guaranteed. Oh, yes, it is. Now it is. There we go, we got the triple combo. Definitely want to try getting as many Doom Blades as we can, as the AoE damage will help speed up this battle quite a bit. Since it's hitting a little over 60 every single time. That is pretty helpful. Since that's about, what, over 240 damage then, assuming there's 4 troops on the opposing team still. And even 180 is still pretty solid. But you could create Doom Skulls with this thing. There are some things that can spawn Doom Skulls. That is not one of them, though. Off its gem spawning ability. But there are that can gem spawn Doom Skulls. But Queen Aurora is not one of them. Which makes sense because its whole premise is to work with the 6 colors. The Rainbow Link, 1 for each color. Okay, do we have anything for this board? We should. I don't think we do, though. Nope, we're just gonna take a skull, I guess. And that also leaves us with no option for this turn. So we'll take the extra turn over there. I guess that's not literally no option, just not as many. Still nothing good to go for, though. I guess we just go for this. I don't believe I'm giving him anything too devastating. Actually, we get an extra turn from it. Right down there, so never mind. And then we just go and Doom Blade that. And hopefully have some kind of setup follow-up. Take that for now. Nope. Take that. And we should have, yeah, Divine Spala there. And then we should just be able to get the triple combo now. And we don't even need it, even though we had it. Of course we get it, like, right when we already won. Being able to cast all 3 of them. And I believe that was the only room, right? Yes, we just needed room number 2. And then we can move on. Also, we don't have any fireballs because I had to waste them to go scout that one room. It's fine, though. Where are all the heroisms, though? We haven't gotten a single heroism yet. I want to at least have one for Spirit Fox Room if we can. I didn't actually double check to see if we're even getting one at all. That'd be annoying if we end up reaching Spirit Fox Room and have to actually play it out. It's manageable, it's just one of the most annoying rooms to have to do. The Spirit Fox Room. Oh, I gotta be careful, we can actually die off a Skull Reflect right here. Yeah, I might actually need to do this just to make sure he doesn't die. Even though we already had alignment there. Or I believe we had alignment. But I had to do that just for protection's sake. Okay, speaking of alignment, we'll go for that. Actually have it on red alignment, but it won't matter because we should clear enough board to be able to get to Doom. I'm gonna gamble with it. Oh, never mind, we already had alignment on it. Didn't need to worry about the alignment there. What else? Quillen, you can't do much. This thing, also not gonna do much. I don't really have a good drop for. Oh, Quillen, you can just do it on brown stuff. Do that, and that should give us Divinish Bala most likely. Kind of, no. No. Okay, we'll take that for now. How about now? Nope, still no anything at this point. Guess we could give some more protection again. Let me actually do this on red just because it's most populated. We can easily actually turn it and then go right into Divinish Bala because of red alignment. That would obviously be there from doing that. What else? Move that for now. Either of those are gonna work. I guess we just try this and hope it doesn't miss. And it doesn't miss, perfect. And that does a lot of damage. And then we can pretty much just kill with that. And I just need a little bit of follow-up damage. At this point I almost just feel like throwing Doomblade at it, but no, we'll just go the safer route and do Divinish Bala, then Doomblade. Because that'll be enough damage regardless of what the board is like. Even if that didn't land a single skull, that still would have killed. I know, the really weird, like, ultra weird number thing that we have here. But hey, it tells us everything that we need. Like, this tells us that 5 is a fireball, 3 is a haste scroll that we can go and skip, and 4 is a fireball. Also, hold up, that's as far as we have scouted? I guess that makes sense, because everyone in my guild probably bought to about the same pack. So okay, so no one's really overbuying these days then. So that means everyone bought to around tier 4 to tier 6, depending on how far they scouted. But, yeah, it looks like no one really bought above tier 6, which makes sense. No one's going for leaderboard right now for my guild. And there is no leaderboard. Never mind. I forgot. So that makes sense that they're only going for 4 to 6. I forgot. There is no leaderboard for this game mode. Well, there is, but it's pretty irrelevant. Because even if you go for this, you're going to have to spend more gems than you're even going to get back. I honestly do not know why people go for it. And if it's for the Doom copies, then that's still also not worth it. Because you could just use a single blue orb, and that can count for as many as 100 copies of them. So yeah, like when you do it from Epic to Legend, that's 50 copies, and when you do it from Legend to Mythic, that is 100 copies. So as long as you have like 2 little blue orbs laying around, which are pretty easy to get, you really don't need those extra copies of Doom. So I'm not honestly really sure why people even bother with this leaderboard. I guess maybe just for fun. Or because they have more gems than they know what to do with, and they just want to do it for prestige reasons, to just always win it. I'm not sure, but it is definitely not worth contesting it, that is for sure. And even going a little bit further is going to make like such a small difference. Like even if we dip below top 50, we're only going to get 15 less gems and 1 less Doom per person, which is basically 0 resources, or we're really close to it at that point. Anyways, we're 21, so we need 5 and 4. And haste, I'm probably just going to skip over. But then again, I'll take 5 and see if we get a Valrave. And if we don't, then maybe I'll take a haste just so we have a few more battles to do today. And then we'll head over to Dooms. Then we'll head over to Delves, For the Stonesong. Do we have alignment? No. So let's move stuff. Yeah, do we have alignment? No. Let's move stuff again. Until we do. You know what? I'm just going to go for it. Okay, that doesn't backfire too badly, I guess. Could have been worse. Could have been better. Could have been a lot better. He just died. Well, we don't have him anymore, but we still have the main combo of the team, so it should be fine, hopefully. First time we've lost him so far, but that's mainly because we're not using Titan or anything. Might be time to finally switch to Titan. Do we have alignment? No. Well, let's play it safe and don't accidentally kill something else off. So go take that for now. I should probably cast Quillen before I cast it. Especially since we have alignment on it. If we didn't have alignment, then I would have. But we got alignment, so no need. Well, we could double cast that. A lot of stuff on the board. Not much we could do, though. I'm actually going to go for yellow again. Just to feed it more HP, just to make sure we don't accidentally lose anything. Purples we don't need as much anymore since we don't have the Doom weapon to be able to use. It's not going to matter if we convert them out for an extra turn. That would actually be beneficial at this point. And it would also give it more reds onto the board, which will allow us to do stuff like that. It only did like 60 something damage. Let's see. I guess we'll move that over, why not? We guess go out of it. That also gives Divine Spell to recast. Get all this mana right back up. We do get quite a bit less off of yellows now that we're not using Priest. It's a whole 2 less mana that we get per thing. I'll just do that again. Hello, wow! I'm doing pretty good. Tongue, oddly enough, is a little bit sore. I think it was from something I ate, though. Ended up having Chinese food the other day. And I guess my tongue just didn't like it. I'm not sure. Because it's been sore since, like, last night, and that's when I had it. Let's see. It's probably just some kind of food allergy randomly. I know I'm definitely allergic to enough things, that's for sure. As far as eating things, though, the main thing I'm really only allergic to is nuts. But there's like a lot of things I have like extremely minor allergies to that would do almost nothing, but would still do something. That are so minor that even testing probably wouldn't even really pick it up much, but it still occurs. Kind of like how some people have like a really minor like shellfish kind of related thing. I don't have it with shellfish, but I do have it with like several things randomly. Also, we're going to probably lose this battle unless Quillen gets extremely lucky. Let's see. I'll move that for now. If nothing else, we could just keep spamming Queen Aurora and just hope it tanks it out enough. Biggest issue here is we're feeding so much red to the board that he's just going to destroy us with Glaceon if we don't kill him soon. Quillen, can you solo an entire battle? Probably not. Let's see. Well, it looks like we need Titan or something. Because we are dead. I'll take that for now. Okay, he didn't get Glaceon yet, but we're dead, so it won't matter. RIP. Well then. Oh, I guess we only have one more battle. That's a fail. Interesting. Huh. Interesting. I was gonna say maybe we just skip the fireballs, but no, I should probably have the fireballs so that we could do the later battles. Because there might be some harder ones later on that we might need it for. Though these almost are the harder ones later on that we'd be needing them for. Because normally you start using them in the 20s or so, if you're only going to 25. But yeah, I guess we'll try it again. Let me just try it with Titan or something, I guess. Or we just try it again with the exact same thing and just play it out better. We're within 2 skull range, though. We just have to be more careful with how we do Queen Aurora. We'll try it again exactly as is. I don't think we need Dawnbringer. That's what Queen Aurora is for. Or Draconian Monk, whichever way you want to run it. Or depending on what you have. Okay, let's just play this a little bit safer this time and not gamble with any move. Don't take it unless we actually have alignment on it. Okay, so right here we'll just take this. Hopefully that'll give us some kind of mana to get rolling. Nope, still got one more turn. Will we miss? Probably, but let's go for it. We need to start getting that barrier and everything rolling. Throw that down. That should allow us to go into a Doom weapon, hopefully. No. Do we have brown alignment? Also no. Do we have anything that's guaranteed? Yes, this. Let's feed a little bit of HP so we don't die again. Throw a Doom weapon down. If we have Quillen alignment, go for it. Otherwise, do Divine Ishbala. Then take the weapon. If we don't have that, just take everything else. Actually, we'll go for that. Let's go for a triple. So we'll do that. Check for Divine Ishbala. No Divine Ishbala. Still no Divine Ishbala. I guess we'll go for all 3. We'll go with that. Get the Divine Ishbala. And get the Doom weapon. Okay, good. We did get the triple combo. Yeah, it worked out a lot better this time. This time we did it without taking any damage whatsoever. And it's winning at a decent pace. Guess we just got a bit unlucky on that previous one. Yeah, it's going perfectly fine this battle. It's actually going really, really good this battle. Going better than some of the previous ones at this point. So many useless blues on the board that we can't use, gosh. Too bad there's no way to fit something that converts away blue in some way. Technically, we could replace out last slot, I believe, with that one best type priestess that kind of does that, but doesn't fully do it. And it's dependent on being def marked, which is the biggest issue. You can only really use it for the dooms. We could go and explore almost this entire board. I guess we'll go for it. That's because it's going to explore almost full board. If it wasn't for the fact that it would do almost the full board, I probably wouldn't have, but it was almost all connected the way that was set up. But we'll go for that, and that should almost kill, and even if it doesn't, Divine Spala definitely will, and if that somehow doesn't, then we have Doom Weapon. But that definitely overkilled. You ate everything with Iron Gut. There's one Fireball, we'll be able to use that in a few rooms. Oh, but yeah, I forgot, we are done, aren't we? Because we didn't get a Valraven there. Well, we're out of battles for now, but we still have plenty more battles to go do, because, of course, we have the Faction Assault today, for the faction of Stonesong Eyrie. So we'll be running that, go copy paste our team over. I think I might use something slightly different just so we can farm a little bit of EXP, class EXP. But before I do, I'm gonna go claim out our dailies real quick, dungeons, and then go do the, oh, what's it called? Clear out dungeons and then go clear out, wow, why'd I forget what it's called? The adventure board. Hello, Heavy Gamer Zone. I've been doing pretty good. Hello, Lone Wolf. Hello, John. And hello, Steve. And hello, Leonardo. Welcome, welcome. And hello, Preserved Music. What am I using for the new for the Pure faction? For the Pure faction, I'm probably going to be using just Gargoyle spam with a Grimlet to feed them brown mana. And I'm probably just going to put Hero in last slot and simply simply just have it there for the sake of class XP. And just run it with Darble Gargoyle as all of our damage and just quick kill it. I think that's going to be the game plan for Stone Eyrie tonight. Or at least how I'm going to run it this time around. Of course, anything that can kill them very quickly is pretty much the way you go with it. You tend to use like the same few teams every single time. So anything that can get up quick and just kill them out. Hopefully we'll have some better options for it into the future. We need like good and power or 75% mana star troops that can just kill out things without much effort. Like low level stat range and mid-level stat range. There's a few things kind of already good for that though, like Skeleton Key for example. Although it's somewhat weaker during the very low range. Where things like Sunbird and stuff would be quicker. As well as even AoEs, because the quickest this can ever kill is in 2 shots. Whereas there are some battles that are so weak that you can just one-shot them with something that hits all enemies. Which is obviously quicker in those situations. But most stuff in Delves have to be 2-shottable. Let's go throw key to key. Hello, Tyranny! Welcome. Okay, let's go do adventure board now. Nothing too good on it this week, or today, I mean. Though we did, I guess, get 2 gem keys and 4 event keys, so I shouldn't say nothing is good on it, but, I guess we could work with that. Okay, where's my Sunbird? Okay, good, I am using it with Oracle. We'll use it for that for these 2, first battles, and then, take the final one out with the, with probably just Key Team. Would probably work out. I believe we're using Oracle for both. Yeah, I guess we're slowly leveling Oracle at this point, instead of anything else. Our lowest level. Well, now it's not. Now that we just got level 41, now our War Priest is our lowest level. Wait, are they nerfing Plunder and Peril? Well, I guess Skeleton Key will remain the better option then. I don't know. I didn't think it was going to be that overpowered with how it was currently by 10 minutes though. I didn't catch the whole thing. But yeah, did she go over the weapon when it was nerfed? Because I'm pretty sure she went over the hero class for most recent stream. It went from 4 to 1 to 2 to 1? So that would mean it got stronger then. You mean it went from 1 to 1 to 2 to 1 then? Is what you mean. Okay, so it's the same thing as, so it basically the guy got changed to the exact same thing that, what's his name is? That skeleton key is. That seems a bit weird then. What secondary effect does it really have? Because now it's just going to be a weaker version of skeleton key if that's the case. Which seems kind of weird. But yeah, 2 to 1. I was 1 times. Yeah, it was a 1 to 1. I know. And then it got nerfed to 1 to 2. But skeleton key is also 1 to 2. So why would you ever use this new weapon compared to skeleton key then? Unless they're adding some kind of other benefit to it. Because that weapon, unless they're adding it, doesn't have any extra turn attached to it. So you just use skeleton key instead. Seems kind of weird. But yeah, it's basically just going to be something that hits random targets instead of last 2 with no extra turn chance. It could very situationally still be better than skeleton key. Though, like 99% of the time, it's going to be weaker than skeleton key. If that's what they actually changed it to. It boosts based off both teams, so still more powerful. Oh yeah, I forgot. It does still retain that. Yeah, that was kind of weird that it had a 1 times boost ratio, a 1 to 1. Yet it boosted based on both teams. But yeah, never mind. I forgot. Yeah, it does still maintain that, doesn't it? That makes a bit more sense then. But the enemy's not really going to have much gold, though. Unless they are specifically using a gold farming team, they are not going to have a ridiculously high amount of gold. More often than not, the enemy, by the time you actually end up killing them out, particularly with like a quick kill team, which normally stuff like that would be used in, like skeleton key, they would normally only have less than 20 gold. Like, I'll show it, like, before we end up winning this battle. They're probably going to have 12 gold or less, if even that much. Of course, if they were using more of a gold-oriented team, that would be a bit different. But, unless you're really up against a gold team, I don't see why you would need to use it. You'd have to be up against, like, a Cedric team with Greed or a Leprechaun or something for it to be worth it. So that was a really bad start. I guess I'll take that green. Give him a little bit more gold, haha. But, let's see. What is his gold currently at? His gold is currently only at 12. So that would only be 6 additional damage. Like, the enemy's gold is never going to get particularly high unless they're specifically going out of their way to get it for some kind of boost ratio for themselves. But yeah, by the end of that battle, he only had a 12 gold. And that's probably about where the average battle would be as far as the enemy is concerned. So it's not really going to get much of a benefit from the enemy. I guess it's pretty much just a hard counter to gold teams then. And that's it. And even then, you still have to wait until they actually take gold so you can do more damage. Otherwise, it's just a weaker version of skeleton key. I don't know, overall it seems kind of weird now. But it could still be useful. It's just nowhere near as useful as it was going to originally be. Before, it was basically a guaranteed double one-shot. Now it's just a weaker version of skeleton key that just has slightly higher damage. And the part that's weaker on it, of course, is the lack of extra turn. Which is huge, because that's the main thing that makes key quick. Otherwise, it's just like any other double kill cast team like Ketris or anything like that. Which makes it a lot less unique. The skeleton key would not be used as much as it is if it lacked that extra turn aspect on it. Is there a true damage skull weapon? Or what do you mean by SK? I assume you mean skull. Let's see. Or skeleton key, never mind. Is there a true damage skeleton key weapon? No. There's nothing like that that's true damage related. The closest thing there is one of the old event weapons called Crescendo, but it only does damage based on half your magic. So even this late in the game, I think I only do like 13 true damage to all enemies. But it does around like 10 to 13 true damage to all enemies. And if it gets a kill, it gives an extra turn. That's the closest thing that you have to a true damage equivalent of Skeleton Key. At one point, it was the best weapon in the entire game. And it was even buffed when it was already one of the best weapons in the entire game, which was funny. But in the current state of the game, it's pretty lackluster. Even though they never have nerfed the weapon, oddly enough. But despite that, it hasn't dated well. What's annoying is Crescendo is one of the $5 only old weapons. It's one of the more useful ones of the $5 only ones. It's still completely useless in the current state of the game, but it's the closest thing there is to a true damage skeleton key. But yeah, this weapon right here. It costs $5 though. There's no way to get it other than with $5. But this weapon, it deals a bunch of damage to. It deals half your magic plus 2 true damage to all enemies. Gain 2 magic, which only means 1 additional damage, and then gain an extra turn if an enemy dies. This is the closest thing we have to Skeleton Key. It also has Fairy Fire on it, though do keep in mind Fairy Fire takes place after the damage, not before. And it also has Enchant itself. So it's not horrifically bad, but the problem is it doesn't do enough damage. But that's the closest thing we have to a true damage Skeleton Key. But it doesn't do anywhere near as much. Skeleton Key can hit upwards of like 200 damage in a single hit. You know, like 100 something to 2 different enemies. Whereas Crescendo, that's not even hitting 100 total. And the amount of damage it's doing to each is just so small. Even this late in the game with pretty much max stats, it's only doing 16. And even once we get more magic, bringing it to like 17, it's still really small. Anyways, that's all the things, side things, right? Other than delves. So let's go do delves. So let's start, of course, with the main delves that we need to go do, and that is Stonesong Eerie. And we'll hand out a code once we reach the first orb for this little event thing. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is that weird one where you have like almost all the options. It reminds me a little bit of Hall of Guardians, except not as annoying. Also, that's what we used towards the end of the battles. Mountain Crusher, Hiking Iron, Divinia, and Queen Aurora. This delve actually does not require you to run anything to deal with Immune to Devour. And the main reason for this is there are 5 paths to reach the final battle. And the first battle and final battle do not have any Immune to Devour. So you will always have a path that has no Immune to Devour every single time. Because between the 5 paths, it is statistically excessively unlikely that you would end up having all 5 paths have complete Immune to Devour. So, yeah, you can actually... This is, I believe, the only delve in the entire game where Hiking Iron Gut can be used, but he does not require a troop to get rid of Immune to Devour troops. So, yeah, you can do that. But, of course, for the early delves, there's no point in doing that. That's way too slow. So, we're going to go down the method of, I guess, double Gargoyle into Grimlet into any hero weapon? Not sure what hero weapon. Gimlet. I guess we could go Jar at this point, even though we're denying out the green. And then to set it all in onto a brown-red banner with +2 brown, +1 red. And I think we'll be good to go. This is probably what we're going to run for today then. Where's the banner I'm looking for? It's the Meteor banner. Where is it? I know exactly where it is and everything, just can't find it. There it is. I know exactly where it is, I just can't find it. Okay. Where's our level, the hero class that we're leveling? Where'd it go, where'd it go, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oracle, where are you? Come out, wherever you're oracling. There we go. Okay. What perks do we have? Let me go set it to something that isn't completely useless. Get a random stats effect. Yeah, none that's useful. Extra life for allies. Light Storm we won't need for this battle. And some extra magic just for some extra damage. Wow, this hero class is useless. Even with centaurs, it's not really going to get you that far. Anyways, let's go and just roll with this. That'll be our team. Double Gargoyle, Gimlet, and any hero class that we want to feed mana to that uses Jar of Eyes. Seems like a game plan. Should work. And we convert green to brown. Fortunately, we don't have any alignment for it, but that is what this team is set up to do. Which will help speed up many battles, except this one. But generally, it will help speed up our battles. And we can also just explode that. It will create Blue Storm, though. Too bad this thing doesn't convert blue to brown. That should be slightly more useful in this context. Or too bad it doesn't create a green storm, but oh well. It creating a blue storm is useful in some situations. This is not one of them, though. So would you say the new weapon is worthless? No, it's not worthless. It's just a lot less effective than it was originally going to be. Like a lot less effective. They basically nerfed its damage by half. Or they literally nerfed its damage by half. So it's going to be quite a bit. It's going to be like 50% less relevant then. Because they quite literally halved its effectiveness. So yeah, we'll see. There's still some really rare instances you would use it. But it definitely wouldn't be as common as a pick as it was originally going to be. If they would have left out a 1x boost ratio. Oh, who knows? We'll mess with it some, see how it goes. But I don't foresee it being used for anything other than countering gold teams. Gold team sounds like the only thing it'll ever be used for, and that's it. It just doesn't seem viable for anything else after that nerf. Pre-release nerfs. That's also why I don't normally go over stuff too far in advance. Because they almost always tweak stuff beforehand. Especially the more overpowered looking things. The more underpowered ones never normally get touched though, unfortunately. I am using a different team than what I showed for the video, and that's mainly because I'm trying to farm EXP. The one I showed for the video would probably still be quicker. But I want hero EXP. So I'm doing this. It isn't too much different than what I showed. I showed a double gargoyle version of a team. I think the only difference was I was using Mountain Crusher in first slot. Which if you were using Titan or something else, it's much safer and probably quicker. But I want EXP for other hero classes, so I'm doing it with this. And this hero class would be a hindrance with Mountain Crusher in first slot. And the reason for that is it doesn't have half mana start. I currently have maxed out every single hero class that naturally has a half mana start. So I'd have nothing that I'd be able to put there that I could feed mana to while still having half mana. So I'm just putting Jar of Eyes in last slot with no mana start. Just so that our Mountain Crusher isn't blocking it. Mountain Crusher blocking doesn't matter as much when you have a half mana start, because between enchant and everything, you're starting with 7 mana to 11 mana cost weapon. So blocking 4 mana off a gargoyle for the fact that you could get a full board clear explosion isn't really that big a deal. But blocking a whole 9 mana is going to be quite a bit more. And that's basically one whole turn worth of mana that you could potentially be blocking, potentially even 2, if your turns don't go as good. Generally, you don't want to block Egg Thief. It's one of the reasons why you normally use Thief behind... you normally use Greed behind Thief. Like, once it gets going, it doesn't matter. That's blocked. But prior to it getting going, it's... you generally do not want anything that's green or red in front of it. Definitely don't block both its colors. Normally, if you block one, it's green off of Greed or something similar, or off a Leprechaun or something else blocking its green. You really should try not to block either, though. But once it gets going, it doesn't matter at all. Unless it's being blocked by like a ward breaker or something like that, but that would never happen. And then we take the final battle and go from there. And I believe in 2 more delves we'll reach the first orb and then we'll have the code. Oh yeah, this team can run through all the free battles. And by free battles, I mean throw 30 gems down and everything that gets up to. It should be able to do all rewards and be able to do them at a decent pace. Still wish we could get it a little bit quicker though. I want to see a day where we can easily get it under an hour. I'm actually not sure what its exact timing is. I probably should have started a timer to double check. Though we could always double check at the stream to see when we started in and when it ends out. But I feel like it always takes a little over an hour to do the 100% full completion of all your battles. Which isn't too bad given how much loot you're getting. For only 30 gems, you get 2 orbs, a vault key, and a few other little trinkets. But those are the main 2 rewards, the 2 orbs and a vault key. That's a 1.3. I actually have to check these 2 rooms then to see if they're 1.4. Neither are though. Yeah, it is possible that even a baby dragon can block its mana enough. Normally if there's a storm in play, that wouldn't matter for her. Because you tend to just extra turn spam almost indefinitely. Once that does happen. Gotta take some mana just so we can get the gargoyle up a little bit quicker. So we're not waiting as many turns for it. Still looks like we're on a timer though. Gotta wait 2 turns. At that point, we're almost gonna have full mana just by swiping it. Pretty much are. We'll just throw that down. And then we get both of them up and just throw that at them. Yep. And that's why we're using our hero class. It's slightly slower, but there we go. Another level. Level 42. Definitely slower compared to using like Thief Hero class or something similar. But definitely worth it for that free XP. Okay, now he's double gargoyle. Actually, might even single gargoyle it. Yep, there we go. Still at the point where we can get away with that, luckily. 1 skull randomly from Cascade into that. Yeah, there's a few other options you can use. Pretty much anything that starts with half mana start, you can end up using for this team. So anything that hits really hard, multiple things, that has half mana start or better, is a perfectly fine alternative to Gargoyle. The main reason to use Gargoyle is it upscales all the way to floor 100. And depending on how far you have the Delve upgrade, it could even upscale all the way to 150. But definitely upscales up to 100. Because most other options, if they don't specifically have a stat-related thing, they might start failing or getting quite a bit slower after around 60 and onwards. Let's see. Yeah, let's go for that for now. Oh, why did I give him that? Even the thing all the way to the side. It won't matter though. All we have to do now is just double gargoyle him. And we'll be good to go. So we'll throw that down for now. Autumn Imp. Interesting choice. I remember when Autumn Imp was meta. And by that, I mean when it was released. Like 3-4 years ago. For a short duration of time, it was actually considered good. So good that it was actually almost... It was like top 5 troops at one point. But these days, it's pretty average or even below average. But it still has its purposes occasionally. It's mostly for lower level range stuff. That's a problem that a lot of older content has, is because the game was balanced, because those troops were balanced around when the game had lower stats. A lot of them are only good against like really low stat related battles or mid-range ones. Which is what most of the lower end of delve range is. Except even this is almost higher than what they used to be, the stats in the game. At one point, starting stats would often be in the single digits when the game first started. And even maxed out troops would still potentially have single digit stats. Way back in the day when, like, almost 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago. Actually, almost 5 years ago at this point. 5-year anniversary of this game is in, soon. It's in 2 months from now. Or sorry, 3 months from now. It is November. Mid-November, somewhere in there, is the 5-year anniversary of Gems of War. Does that mean we get Puzzle Quest 3 soon? Puzzle Quest 3 confirmed. Let's see. We'll make Puzzle Quest 3 into the Half-Life 3. It'll happen eventually. It's a good franchise from ages ago that was not necessarily abandoned, but just hasn't been getting anything new. But they're almost guaranteed doing another Puzzle Quest. Yep, soon TM. By soon TM, Puzzle Quest 3 could potentially be like 2022. So it's still a while out. I don't think they would have it out by 2021. They definitely are going to be doing it for next-gen consoles, that's for sure. And try to get on the eShop of probably every single one. Switch, whatever PS5 is called, and whatever Xbox new thing is called. They already mentioned what it is. I completely forgot its name, though. I'm not sure why they ditched the Xbox thing. Maybe for branding purposes. But it has a lot less name recognition, whatever they switched it to. So much so I cannot remember what it is. And I'm pretty sure most of you might not necessarily know what it is either. But they really should have just stuck with something Xbox related. It's like almost the inverse problem of what Nintendo had when they did the Wii U. The Wii was so well known that they thought the Wii U, most people just thought it was like some kind of attachment to the Wii or something that you could end up having. But Xbox is doing the inverse of that, where they're basically switching to a different IP thing for it that almost no one will recognize by default. But yeah, wow, I cannot remember what it's called at all. Does anyone remember what it's called? Xbox's new console name? Let's see. I'll go for that. And then we just go get the poke. Is there going to be an anniversary event for Gems of War? Oh yeah, they'll probably do like a week-long event thingy of some kind. What exactly, we don't know. They've given out loot for it in the past. Actually, they've given out some insanely good loot for it in the past. I believe their 3-year anniversary loot was by far the best that they ever gave. It gave like multiple multiple VIP keys, various gem-related resources, and was by far the absolute best one that they've done, I believe, ever. Was the 3rd-year anniversary. I don't think they're ever going to top that, though, because they did a lot less for the 4-year anniversary after that. But who knows? Maybe they'll do something really big again. Well, time will tell. You just got, isn't that the one thing that devours submerged troops or something? I'm trying to think of what that one troop is. I believe that's a troop that devours submerges. You generally don't need submerge in Delve, so you can just go without that mechanic. Though that would be very rare that he could actually win like that. But yeah, he does have 50% devour if you have submerge, so you gotta be careful with that. If you're using like Frost Mage or Tidecaller or whatever. You might want to just disable the submerge, because there's very few battles within Delves where you'd specifically need submerge for. Hello, Mason! I've been doing pretty good. Tongue's still sore for whatever reason, though. It's mostly a food allergy thing from what I can tell. Because that's exactly when it started happening, was after I had Chinese food last night. As well as again today. But it'll probably go away in like a day. Who knows, maybe it's also just from talking too much, gosh. Let's see, I could take that one over. It's probably not because of that. It happened like quite literally after the food, so. It's almost guaranteed because of that. But stuff like that goes away after like a day or so, so not that big a concern. What do you take here? Why aren't event gems showing up? Event gems only show up for if you have it on the adventure board now. You can occasionally get a task where it tells you to go kill 150 things of a certain color. And you get 100 gems for it instead of 20. That's basically the new version of it. Is they just put it all into adventure board, increase the loot of adventure board compared to daily tasks. And we don't have the weekly event gems anymore. However, there's about a 5% chance per day, so about 1 in every 20 days or so, that you'll end up getting a kill 150 of a certain color objective. And when you do have one of those objectives, it starts to show the event gems again for whatever color you have to kill. So for example, if you had to kill green, it would show an event gem for each one of those greens that we just killed. But it only shows if you specifically have one of those for the task. Which we currently don't have, of course. I think I've only gotten it 3 times so far since it was released. Which is a decent amount, I guess. Alright, we'll go through that for now. Grab the brown over. Take the other brown, and it was double gargoyle. Hopefully get a cascaded skull to speed it up some. Nope. So we'll start out the gargoyle, not that big a deal. Yep, or skull. There we go. Hello, Mark Punk, welcome. Yeah, if it's showing up for you, that's because you have a task that says to go kill 150 of something. Like this task up here probably says to kill 150 red, blue, or whatever color it says. And you get 100 gems for it instead of 20. It only happens about once every month, or twice a month, because of the 1 in 20 chance or so that it has. Oops, what am I doing? That's not what I want. What I want is delves. Oh, that is also... I hate that button being there. Okay, let me just click this one. Also, hey, we hit first orb. Let me go grab that. I did say code at first orb, and that is first orb. Technically 5th orb of the stream. We got 2 blues, 2 oranges, and a green. Okay, let me go get a code. It's a little buried right now. Let's see. Also, I forgot to see which one is actually code. I believe it's this one. Yep, I just deleted a letter. Yep, that one works. That is the one I'm looking for. Okay, here you guys go. Here is the redeem code. Use it on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section. Your invite code can be found underneath your settings menu. Redeem code's right over there in chat. And give same reward as always. True treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. And it only works on PC mobile version. There you guys go. Have fun. Enjoy the free resource. It's mainly just a gem key, of course. But hey, that's 9 gems saved. They add up. Actually, with how much gem value do I actually get off of that per week? Since obviously I get to redeem every single code I hand out. How many does that end up being? So normally that ends up being 9 codes on average, or normally on an average week, on a normal week, because we hand out 1 per night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time stream at some point during the stream, and we do 1 on Friday and Saturday morning streams. There's occasionally like more here or there, but those are like the main 9 we normally give. So what is that? 9 times 9, that's 81. So that's 81 gems worth of savings each week, so that's not too bad. You could almost consider it 82 because all the gold that you would get would basically count as 1 gem value or so. As far as the gem keys specifically, a whole week of how many redeem codes we give is 81 gem value. Which isn't ridiculously high, but it adds up. And obviously it's not actual direct gems, it's just saving gems. Because a gem key is worth 9 gems if you were to go and buy it with gems. And that assumes you're buying them in 50 bulk, which is the only way you should ever buy them. Gem keys should never be bought on anything other than 50 bulks. Because they're one whole gem cheaper each when you do it that way, which is definitely worth it. Okay, I'm gonna kill that first just in case it feels like getting like a 30% chance to create another one. Definitely don't want that. It's very unlikely, but still don't want to see it. You better run to understand boost ratio calculation. For example, Naga Queen. Sure. Let me go all the way out so we can see the normal stuff. Most of them are pretty straightforward. So this is 3-to-1 boost ratio. Basically what this is it'll transform all yellow gems to red. For every single yellow gem that it ends up transforming to red, it'll have a 3-to-1 boost ratio for. So for example, for every 3 that it converts, it'll end up giving 1 of the stats. So let's say it converts out 9 yellows to reds. That will mean it will do 3 additional life to all allies, is what it'll end up doing. And if there was only 6, it would end up doing 2. And if there was something like, let's say, 8, it would round down and it would do 2. They always round down as far as boost ratios are concerned. But yeah, if you have any other example that you wanted. But like Yogway is a pretty common one. Yogway has a 3-to-1, actually same boost ratio. He specifically has it on his life, and he ends up doing that as additional damage. So for every 1 life he has, or for every 3 life, I mean, that he has, he'll end up doing 1 additional damage. So in this case, with 68 life currently, he would end up getting 22 additional damage because it rounds down. And that would keep getting higher by the fact that he keeps stealing life. And it would also get higher just by the fact he gets to steal magic too, which just gives him obviously more damage on his ability. Oh, and there's the redeem code. Okay, back into those. Right over here. And we're about halfway there. Theoretically, we're past halfway there if you're just looking at that mark. But, actually, yeah. Well, I don't know. It depends how you look at it. I guess the end of Delve 50 is kind of the halfway point, because the other ones get slightly longer as far as time-consuming time. Time-consuming time. We don't have a good convert. We'll just take that for now. Oh, we still have nothing good here. Really bad board. Hopefully neither of those 2 revive. Good. How does webbing all enemies influence them? Can you explain how the damage done by Arachnine Weaver? He has no boost ratio based on web. I'm not sure what you're referring to. He doesn't have any boost ratio, I don't believe. Yeah, Arachnine Weaver has 0 boost ratio whatsoever. So I'm not sure what you mean. There is no boost ratio on Arachnine Weaver. The thing he summons has 3 times skull damage to webbed enemies, as well as poisoned. But Weaver has no boost ratio to the webbed enemies. If you end up webbing an enemy, it reduces their attack to 0 for the duration of the web. It's basically like Entangle, but instead of attack, it does it for magic. One other mechanic that both Entangle and Web has is they prevent the similar stat from being increased or decreased. So in the case of Web, it makes the enemy, for the duration of the web, it makes the enemy have 0 magic, which doesn't mean it can't cast. It can still cast. It's just whatever its thing based on magic will be reduced to 0. So for example, this would do 4 damage and still do everything else, but its actual magic value would be reduced down to 0. And the other thing that Web ends up doing is it prevents the losing and gaining of the magic stat. So if they have any kind of troop that would end up feeding them magic, like let's say Humility, which can end up giving your team quite a bit of magic, a webbed enemy would not be able to accumulate any magic during the duration of the web. Though unfortunately, it also has the byproduct of not being able to reduce it. So if you're using something like an Azura, you will not be able to reduce the magic of an enemy that is webbed. And the same applies to Entangle. You cannot increase or decrease the attack of anything that is entangled. And they just have 0 attack for the duration. Web is the same thing, but for magic. Entangle overall is more effective, but there are some instances where Web can still be okay. But it's generally considered weaker than Entangle. Just because things can still cast. It doesn't stop them from completely casting like Silence does. It just makes their magic value 0. And there's still plenty of casts that can do quite a bit. Like Hellcat here. He would only get 1 damage off his ability, but you'd still get to transform. So Web wouldn't really stop him much, since the main reason you use him is for the transform, not for his damage. Yep, no problem. Oh, why am I going that way? Well, I guess it doesn't matter which way we go, unless that's a 1.2. Nope. Okay, doesn't matter which way we go then. Let's see. We'll go for that. Get rid of his bless. We'll almost get rid of his bless. Wait, how did he even get bless in the first place? Oh yeah, our hero gives a random stats effect to a random ally. That's how he has that. I was gonna say. Okay, hopefully this hits a skull, so we get the kill. Good. And he's dead. Hey, Oracle level 43, nice. Infernus or Obsidius? Infernus is definitely better. Obsidius is still a nice utility troop to have, but I would definitely consider Infernus to be better overall. There's some people that might disagree with that, but I personally would always consider Infernus better. Unless you really need stun for something like a Lust team, or, you know, against a Lust team, and a few other really niche instances. But Infernus overall has better mana accumulation, better board clear, better damage output, and just better coloration. Because it has red, which is used for more offensive teams compared to brown. Yeah, we'll go for that. And that should be dead. Just throw a gargoyle at it. And then we just have 3 more to go. We're technically 2 more if we get lucky with the scoring. I probably should have killed Valraven. Oh well, he shouldn't. He hopefully shouldn't escape. And it was Gargoyle. I'm going to hit it directly. And luckily he actually got a summon there, which actually set that up perfectly, oddly enough. But summon actually helped us, not hurt us. Which is kind of weird, but summons can do that sometimes with how decent damage is applied. Because it allows you to get more damage distribution. And a level 10 chest, nice. The multiplier was pretty low on it though, only a 3.7? That is a ridiculously low multiplier. Also, I'm not sure why I'm taking the reward right there. No point in taking literally every single one as we get them. Hiking Iron Gut or Infernus? Depends what your goal is. They both serve completely different goals. If you want to win Delves, and Tower of Doom, mostly delves, you'd want to go High King Iron Gut. But Infernus is used more for PvP, Guild Wars, and a few other various game modes. Like if you had nothing for pet battles, you could run it as an okay option and stuff like that. But it really just depends what you're aiming for. Iron Gut's almost exclusively used for delves. However, it's the best delve trip in the entire game. But if you have no intention on doing delves anytime soon, then Iron Gut doesn't really help you much. Also, Iron Gut helps you more the later you are into the game, because he's dependent on having a high attack. And obviously, the later into the game you are, the easier it is to have a higher attack base value, based on various bonuses, either off of delves or off of just your kingdoms, or a combination of both. But yeah, High King Iron Gut's pretty high up there. I probably would have crafted it as my first mythic if I was on my Nintendo Switch account and if it was actually released at the time. Switch still doesn't have High King Iron Gut yet. I don't believe it's getting it for another month or two, or maybe even 3 months. But yeah, he's a really good delve option for when you do eventually decide you want to go for it. I ended up just going for Fair Straw on my first account, or on my Switch account, I mean. That was definitely not our first account. Had like almost a dozen accounts at this point. Oh, Gargoyle is a faction troop that you get from Hall of Guardians. You just throw Chaos Shards at the portal in Hall of Guardians, which is that one Underworld Delve, towards the top right area of the Underworld. I'm gonna take a brown just to make sure we can double Gargoyle this. And we even have backup mana for that in case we need it. Hopefully we'll hit a random skull. We have enraged, so that will kill it out. Come on. Skull? Yeah, skull. There we go. Code is gone after 10 minutes? Yeah, that's pretty much how codes go. They get devoured pretty quick. You've been stacking all your resources, but you need to know exactly why, though. What do you mean by that? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. On Saturday nights, I believe, is the most inactive stream we normally have. Mainly because we already went over whatever the new event is for the weekend. And at that point, the event has already kind of gone through its cycle. And people are probably doing stuff on Saturday nights. And I don't know, there's a lot of factors that go into it that make it our least viewed night. On that one, even then, it still lasts for like half an hour tops. Now that would theoretically be the best time to try to get a code, because they last the longest at that point due to the lowest amount of viewership on any day. I believe that's the lowest viewed day. I probably have data on that, but to my understanding, I probably don't even need the data. It should just from doing it for years. It's kind of obvious that that one's the lowest, even without checking the data specifically. Highest is always Monday because event video, of course. And because Salty also streams, which ends up helping it a lot. But even before Salty ever did her stream, because it's the event switch, it's has always been the most viewed day for it. Oh, what did it take here? Let's take that for now. And just to gargoyle into a bunch of other stuff. And then we'll get into all of our mana that we need, and it was kill him out. But quite a few people just have work during the weekdays and then have the weekend off. So it depends what they're deciding to do with that time. They normally wouldn't be watching a stream. Unless they're just relaxing and doing other stuff. But normally if those are your only 2 days, you're probably getting more involved with other stuff. But I'm not sure. Some people are different. My schedule is generally so flexible that between everything that, yeah, I can just do stuff whenever. As far as whenever I need to schedule anything. Oh, which also reminds me, I'm not sure if I actually will, but I might not be streaming on Saturday, that or it might be a little bit later, as far as the morning is concerned. There's actually, Nintendo's hosting another one of its tournaments for Smash, and just for fun, I kind of want to try competing in the Invitational just to see how far I get, and see if I can actually win. Because top 4 in the region end up getting a full expense paid trip to Japan to go compete for even more rewards, as well as, I believe, $500, which mostly just covers for additional transportation. I believe it covers airfare and a place to stay for like a week. Round trip. I think it just doesn't cover like car or anything, which is probably what the other 500 was for. Oh, I've never been to Japan. Figured I'd give it a shot. Almost guarantee gonna lose though. I mostly just want to see how far I can get. The main character I actually use for Smash is considered one of the worst characters in the entire game, which is kind of funny. But it's so underused in competitive play that I might be able to cheese it to some degree, just because almost no one knows how to play against it. So we'll see how it goes. It should probably get obliterated though. Piranha Plant can really easily be comboed, which is one of the reasons why it's considered so low tier. It's good against people that are kind of average, but against like really good players, it is just abysmal, which is why it's considered so low tier in competitive play. But we'll see how it goes. I don't believe I'm allowed to stream it, but I believe after the fact, I can go and show. I'll probably do like a compilation videos. I'm so bad at compilation videos, but I might go and do like commentary over like all the ones I ended up doing. Depends how far I go. There's a possibility I quite literally lose in the first round. I assume I'd be able to get past like the first several rounds though. Not sure how many pulls there really are though, but I'm not sure how many they had in the past. I know there's probably going to be several thousand people. So how many rounds does that come out to? That's probably like what, 10 rounds? 8 rounds? Something like that. It's quite a bit of rounds. And only the final 4 ended up will end up getting the trip. That's worth doing. If nothing else, is for fun. Do I have an 8 to 5 job? No. I've actually never had an 8 to 5 job, ever. I've had hourly based jobs before. However, I have never in my life had an 8 to 5 job. But I've been self-employed since 19. Every single means of work I've done since then has been fully self-employed. Everything from flea marketing to eBay to some various trading online to writing, freelance writing, to obviously YouTube, doing this channel. But yeah, I've done a lot of like various things, dabbling in a bunch of stuff. But the only traditional jobs I've really had is I used to do some kind of like, it was kind of like secretary work, kind of. Some just digital stuff for a green energy company a little while back. And it's mainly because my dad and as well as like a bunch of people, like the main person that was running it was a little bit incompetent with technology. So I just had to help them a bit with that regard. What was the other thing? There was, so I did like mostly like documents, like, you know, Excel spreadsheets and, you know, stuff like that. But the other thing was, or the other two, let's see, how many other ones were there? There was restaurants, of course, just busting tables and, you know, cleaning up dishes, mopping floors, all that normal stuff. I feel like almost every single guy ends up having that as like a job at some point. And wasn't there one other? Am I forgetting one? I could have sworn there was one other one. But no, that was basically it. It was like the only jobs I've really had. And I've mostly just been self-employed. And since 19, I've only ever been self-employed. I've actually haven't had a single hourly based job since 19. Or since 18, I should actually say. Because by 19, I was just doing flea marketing and eBay and other various trading. Also, oddly enough, one of the things I used to trade too was on Steam. I actually didn't have to pay for a single game for about a year. Because I used to profit passively like about $100 a month through Steam. Through various trading I did with Dota 2. Which obviously wasn't a lot, but it helped make sure I didn't ever have to pay for games. So it was nice. And it didn't take that much time at all to normally do. I think it only took like 1 hour a day. Probably a little bit less than that. Because, you know, you normally just need to check on it, see how prices are moving. It's almost like a mini stock market in a way. Except a lot lower risk. Especially with how fluctuating the economy is right now, that's for sure. Do I have my own place? No. I never intend to really have my own place. If I was to ever move out, I would move in with friends. If I was to ever bother doing that. So I guess it also depends if my dad leaves me any inheritance or anything like that. Because my dad currently owns like 5 houses. Let's see. Throw that down. But yeah, right now I only have a net worth of like 10,000. And almost all of it's just in money. Because I don't really have many investments, or really any. I just have it in like a savings things that gains a few percent per annual pay rate. And that's about it. I don't even think it keeps up with inflation. But I don't know. I've always been kind of hesitant to ever do investing. Especially with how the economy is right now. If the economy was ever to like stabilize, I probably would. But there's almost guaranteed going to be another crash soon. Either because of student loan debt or some kind of other reason. Like the student loan debt bubble is almost going to be the exact same thing as the housing bubble. Very soon. Though luckily I have no debt. I've never had debt. I actually stopped college because if I would have went any further than an associate's degree, I would have went into debt. And I didn't want to do that, so I just stopped college at that point. And I was already basically self-employed doing various stuff while in college, so I was like, okay, why don't I just keep doing this then? And that's basically what I did. And that was also around the time we started this YouTube channel and it took off, and it was like, hey, might as well do this for money as well. And it ended up working out. Oh yeah, I'm 24 years old, if someone asked that. I'm turning 25 in November 4th. It was pretty soon, a couple months. Was my associates in? It's actually a pretty generic one. It's just in, I believe it's just in liberal arts, but there's a specific reason why it's in liberal arts. I was doing it mainly for credits, because the way that degrees work in the state of New Jersey, which is where I got the degree in, is by state law, any college within the state has to accept 100% of the credits from any other college within the state. So as long as you finish out a degree, they have to accept 100% of the credits. So the main reason I did that was so if I ever go back to do further into college, to my education, I would already have all the credits secured, and I wouldn't need to worry about them expiring or any kind of thing like that where they wouldn't accept them. They have to. If you finish a degree, any college in New Jersey from a New Jersey degree has to accept 100% of the credits of a finished degree. So that's the main reason I did that. I mostly just studied writing, psychology, and digital communications a little bit. But it was mostly... Actually, I did digital communications mostly in high school, oddly enough. But yeah, it was mostly just writing and psychology. That and getting mandatory credits out the way, so I wouldn't have to worry about them later. Let's see. Move on to the next one. And if we get lucky enough, this next one will be all we need. Though based on our current scoring, it's not looking like it will be. Looks like we'll need the rest of this delve and then part of the next. Your birthday's November 5th. Yeah, the day after. You definitely won't forget that. Actually, I believe we're getting something interesting in Gems of War on my birthday. I know there was something happening Gems of War related on my birthday. I forget what it was. There's something specifically happening on my birthday. Gems of War related. Coincidentally. Let me see. Was it a troop? Yes. The Vinian Fields event is on my birthday. It's actually on a Monday as well. Let's see. What do we take here? Take that one over. What does the +1 tempering on the doomed weapon mean? It's the number that you have right over here. So whatever this number says right over here is what it's referring to. So if that's +10, it gives you 10 additional damage. If that's +5, it gives you 5 additional damage, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's the only weapon that currently uses the tempering thing, is all 6 of the Doom weapons. But what that's referring to is whatever number that plus says. And whatever that is basically how much extra damage it does. Tempering is just referring to how upgraded the weapon is. Just a weird way of phrasing it. But that's basically what tempering means in that context. But it's really easy to calculate out since it's literally just whatever number shows right there on that weapon. Did I ask Salty for the good codes? Oh no, I keep forgetting. Mainly because I know almost for sure she's gonna say no. But, I don't know, I guess I'll ask her still. But she's almost guaranteed gonna say no. We'll take that for now. Get double gargoyle down. Because that's a lot of gems to put into the economy if they actually allow me to end up giving out all of them. I have about 28 more codes that give out 25 gems. What does that come out to? I cannot do 25 times 25 easily, so I can't do 25 times 28. Let's see, what's 25 times 28? 25 times 28 comes out to 700. That would potentially be 700 gems worth of codes. That's a lot of gem value. Especially since we just calculated out that we only give out 81 gems worth of value each week. Generally. Let's see. What do we take here? Take the brown for now. You have kids that are around my age. I'm actually one of the youngest in my family, actually. I believe at one point I was the absolute youngest. Actually, I might still be the absolute youngest. As far as, like, the generation of my parents. But yeah, I believe I am the youngest in my family. When you're about to update your channel info... Oh yeah, I need to go do that too. That's another thing I've been forgetting to do. That and Patreon I need to go update too. Several things still dated. Several of those haven't been updated for like upwards of a year. So thank you for whoever is supporting me on Patreon right now. I believe we have 5 Patreon supporters. But I do really appreciate it. Definitely helps out a lot. I might start pushing Patreon eventually. I've never really pushed it ever. I have it at the, like, a link for it at the end of every single stream. But, or not at the end of every single stream, I mean at the end of every single video. And I believe my streams automatically put it at the beginning. But, I never, like, mention it ever. But the main reason I have that instead of the YouTube's integration, I was gonna do YouTube's integration until I realized they take 30%. Which is way too much. Patreon only takes 5%. I mean, not Patreon. Patreon actually takes even less than that. Wait, never mind. I was right the first time. Yeah, Patreon takes 5%. YouTube takes 30%. And PayPal takes 2.7% plus 30 cents. So generally, PayPal and the... wow, why do I keep forgetting what it's called? And Patreon are the way to go. Just because they normally take the smallest cuts. I honestly don't understand why people actually... Well, I guess I kind of understand. But, I don't understand the whole Twitch thing. Because the Twitch subscription thing... people that are lower down, who are just, like, kind of starting out, they only get $2.50 for the $5 subscription thing. So basically, they only get half of it. 50%. Which seems kind of absurd that they would only get that much. But the other thing to keep in factor in mind, though, is is Amazon Prime, because a lot of people will probably get a lot of Amazon Prime subscribes. And people basically, anyone who uses Amazon Prime basically has a free subscribe thingy. And normally most people like that won't forget, or will forget to like turn the subscribe off. So as long as they still have Amazon Prime, it just basically keeps giving that person $2.50 a month without actually costing them anything. As long as they're still maintaining the Amazon thing and using it. Let's see. So to a degree that kind of makes sense, but I don't know. It still seems kind of weird. It just seems like a lot of money is getting wasted. $1 tier. Tacet will mispronounce your name in the credits. I know, right? We do that every single stream. We do that literally every single stream. How long is this faction assault on for until it's completed? Which is probably another 5 minutes then. Normally it takes a little over an hour, I would say. Or about an hour, give or take. If we're using a proper hero class, we could get it below an hour. But since I'm currently using one that I'm trying to level, it is going to take a little bit longer than that. But it's important to get it leveled. Gotta get leveled eventually. We got quite a bit of levels on it. We started at level 41. It's now 44. So just from doing these delves, we've gotten 3 levels on it. Then our dailies in general. Definitely adds up. Yeah, we are getting a new pet tomorrow. New pet is coming out and being released very soon. It's right around the corner. Actually, that should be in, what, 5 hours from now? Let's see. It's 9:37 right now. Resets at 3. So, yeah. 5 hours and 23 minutes from now. Yeah, we'll take that for now. And what else we need? Let's go grab the jar so we get all of our mana rolling. And it was gargoyle to gargoyle. Hopefully this will feed our first gargoyle to full mana. Perfect. And he's dead. What does the pet do? It acts cute. That's funny. But it does drug zoom bonus. It does have a actual benefit other than cosmetic for once. But it has a drug zoom bonus attached to it, which basically means it's almost cosmetic. Because drug zoom bonus is almost useless. The only time that would really apply is with Glaceon plus Bloodhammer combo. Which is only 2 drug zoom troops. That's about the only time you would ever use multiple drug zoom troops on a team. There's almost nothing within the kingdom that is good. Except for those 2. And even if they add more, they might not necessarily have synergy with each other. But Glaceon plus Bloodhammer definitely has insanely good synergy. So that's basically the entirety of the kingdom. Is that combo. Are we getting 3 new pets in a row? We might be. We got one last week for the International Cat Day. We're getting one this week that has an actual bonus. So we could be getting cosmetic one next week. What is possibly happening next week that's happening though? I guess maybe back to school, but that changes like depending on your location. I don't know, what else is normally there? What other holidays are like a week from now? Is there actually a pet? Let me double check. I don't believe there's a new pet next week. There's obviously a new pet tomorrow. I don't think there's one next week though. Oh, well I guess yeah, technically you're right. Because there's a new one based on the faction. It's not a Wednesday pet, but it's a faction pet. So yeah, I guess you're technically right then. Because we are getting a faction pet. Well, actually, you know what? If you look at it like that, we're actually getting a new pet for 4 weeks in a row. International Cat Day. Then we get the Drogzoom pet tomorrow. Then we get the faction pet next week. And then the following week, we get International Dog Day pet. So that means we're basically getting 4 new pets in a row. Though one of them is based on getting 2,000 plus renown in a faction, so it's slightly different than the other ones as far as how they are obtained. But still, it's technically a whole month of new pets every day. Interesting. Yeah, you are right in that regard. Interesting. I didn't look at it like that. That's a lot of pets all of a sudden. I wish they would constantly do that. They have enough pets that they almost could. They have enough pets pre-made right now that they could release another pet every single week until like April next year, and probably still have some pets left over. Though of course they're trying to stretching out across a longer period of time. But yeah, that's I believe the most amount of pets we've ever gotten that short of duration. But anyways, let's go do a few more battles and just finish out this. I'll do the rest of it off stream. I want to get at least that final orb for now, like we normally do. But if anyone has any other questions, now would be a good time, because we'll be wrapping up in the next few minutes as we get these last battles in. I'm actually gonna go for that. I was hoping we get a skull drop, but that's fine. Let's do that and then poke it. We've gotten lucky. They haven't hit a single 20% instant kill on us. Though they haven't really been able to get the time to get the mana, so that might be why they haven't been able to. Okay, yeah, I'll take a gargoyle. Get that down. Explode all the things. And he's dead. Okay, that should be all of it. Nope, one more battle. Let's see, which one do we go for? 1.25 or 1.25? Guess it doesn't matter which one. Take this one. Crypt Keeper's team, non-delve? What do you mean by non-delve? Do you mean non-pure faction? Or do you mean using those troops outside of the delves? I'm not sure what you mean by non-delve. Well, so why to do it like that? Now I have to cast 2 more times. Oh, non-pure faction? Let's see. The restriction is what? Red and purple, I believe? You would basically just do Mang with skull spam. So you have red and purple as options, so that gives you quite a bit of skull spam options. You basically just run Mang as Titan, followed by like Keeper of Souls, Skeleton, or any other kind of other skull spams that you might have available. You can also put some kind of mana generating troop if you have, like let's say a Leprechaun in last slot. It end up working out pretty well, and just kind of go from there. So your team would be a composition similar to Mang in first slot, Skull Spam Troop, and Leprechaun in last slot. Something similar to that would end up working. What specifically you use as a Skull Spam options depends on what you have, but Keeper of Souls, any of the double converts, stuff like that would generally be what you want to aim for. But anyways, does anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, I'll wrap it up. We'll get another useless orange orb. Almost add 100,000. Almost at 100,000. Almost add 1,000,000 glory. Still need to repair that. We'll probably have that done next vault event, I would assume. I don't think we're going to get that much glory before then. It's going to trickle up, but it's not really going to go and burst up until then, because that ends up giving a really high amount of glory, of course. Let's see. Going to want to know if a new faction is worth going to 2,500 during option events, or if it'll be really difficult, even with potions. Not sure what you mean as option events. Do you mean like Tuesday ones? Tuesday ones generally aren't worth going for. I will be doing it for All Seeing Eye. That's because it will be required to get 2 kingdom upgrades for Darkstone, which isn't really that big a deal, but we're going to have to do it eventually anyway, so might as well do it right when we'll be able to do an upgrade. That's in, I believe, 2 Tuesdays from now. But generally getting a 2,500 faction is not really that worth it, unless you have like upwards of 10,000 gems, because it costs around like 1,500 to almost 3,000 gems sometimes to be able to do a pure faction to 2,500 by you doing gems. And while that will guarantee you pretty much a completion of the faction and a lot of shards and stuff like that, it is obviously pretty expensive. It averages to probably around 2,000 gems, and that is definitely not cheap. But if you consider everything that you're getting out of it, I guess it's not too bad, because you're getting a bunch of loot per every single room, which is gold, glory souls, stuff like that. You're getting, and those little chests at the end, you're getting a bunch of legendary and mythic ingots if you haven't already maxed those out. You're getting a lot of chaos shards, which can only be obtained through that method, which is one of the biggest things that you're obtaining. And of course, you're buying a pet basically by doing that. And that is somewhat useful these days now that kingdoms actually require those pets and actually utilize them to get their kingdom upgrades. And it's also cheaper. It's actually cheaper if you're in late game or later. It is cheaper to buy 2,500 pure faction than it is to buy a pet to mythic. Yet 2,500 pure faction will still give you a pet to mythic. So it's kind of weird how that is. But that's how expensive pets are. They are way, way too expensive to get during pet events. But yeah, doing a 2,500 faction is cheaper, and it gives you more overall loot than buying a pet through the pet thing, the pet events. Which seems kind of weird, but it is how it is. At least currently, until they ever rebalance it. If they ever rebalance it. Anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading out for now. I'll be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 2 hours prior to now tomorrow. And we'll mainly be messing around with finishing out Tower of Doom. Actually, we might not be able to finish all of it out. But should be able to get almost all of it in. And be able to get our final orb, if nothing else. And then probably on Thursday, finish out the actual finalness to get 25 completion. And, of course, tomorrow we're getting a new pet. Nothing really to go over much with that. It's pretty useless, but as another pet if you want it for cuteness. To have it on your shoulder. And other than that, this Friday we are getting a new hero class. So this Thursday that means we have nothing, because for whatever reason they don't have class events before a new class. But this Friday we will have a new class to go and mess around with and go from there. And it should be a pretty decent hero class. The weapon did get nerfed, but the hero class didn't. So it still has +3 blue, which is going to be a pretty good utility for accumulating blue, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. But anyways, guys, have a wonderful week. We'll catch you later, and thank you so much for watching. Goodbye, everyone.